Back in the days, this was all hippies and free love and
Well, good morning everybody and welcome to another video. Hey, I'm here with Dave.
Morning.
Morning. Yeah, he's from our four-wheel drive club, and we're going to go out for a bit of a recce drive for the club and see what we can find just out the back of Yandina on the Sunshine Coast. So we'll see you there.
No worries. Well, hopefully it'll just be an easy drive. Most of the good stuff is gated off.
Yeah.
But it's the road's less travelled.
Yeah.
And is what we're looking at, and there's a lot of scenery, and there's a bit of history up in there as well.
Oh, good. Well, we might hear a bit of that. Okay.
Okay, well, we shall move on.
Okay. Basically, we're looking for tracks that were still open and haven't been gated off, but unfortunately there was a lot of gated off tracks, so we decided to make the trip about finding waterfalls. And there's quite a few around the place if you know where to look. Unfortunately, this first one is on private property. Because it doesn't flow all year, we don't really have access to it. So I can't actually show you where it is.
Nice to see with the water flowing down.
Yeah.
There used to be a blind fox that went from up there all the way down to the water hole. And it was a steel cable.
Oh, yeah.
And the just had a couple of pulleys on it, and you actually got on it just up here on the rocks up here. As you come down, you just about hit your bum on these rocks. But then, yeah, you actually got quite a bit of height. And when you let go into the water, you were probably about 6 metres above the water when you let go.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And when I've done it, the cable was rusty, so you didn't get a lot of pace. But I imagine when they first put it up in the early 70s,
oh, that'd be awesome,
it would have been fast. The Starlight community is just up here on our left. It was established in about 1970 as a commune, and but the current people who live in there are all descendants of the original people that set it up, and I think the commune idea is long gone.
Yeah.
It's more of a lifestyle place now. Back in the days, this was all hippies and free love, and a lot of them now are professionals that live in there. Doctors, lawyers, accountants.
Yeah. We've had a fair bit of rain lately, so that's the only reason this bit is flowing at all. So we're going to continue up Coolabin Road and have a look up further.
Sure, I forgot I was going to go straight ahead.
Yeah, this road out to Point Glorious is marked as a high clearance vehicle only, but I reckon just about any car will make it out here. It gets a little bit slippery during the wet, and there's a couple of little puddles along the way, but yeah, certainly nothing to worry about. We're starting up at Point Glorious Lookout, which you would have seen in a previous video. If you haven't, go back and have a look. It's at the start of the Drive the Reccy series that we did, which is a fun look all along the reccy River. So we're up at a place called Point Glorious now, just to show you around here a little bit. It's a little bit of a cloudy day. So now we're going to head out from Point Glorious, down Buckby Road, and then we're going to come back up another road called off Cedar Creek Road. So we're on the Kenilworth Road heading in the direction of Kenilworth. We're not going there, we're going to turn off into Cedar Creek Road. And there's a little back road that we're going to have a bit of fun on. Now, it does say it's a no through road, but it actually does go through as long as you've got a four-wheel drive. It's not a hard drive, it's quite doable, but yeah, you will need a four-wheel drive vehicle on this one. Cedar Creek Road does turn to gravel, so keep going along on the gravel bit and eventually it'll turn off to the left. Turning left onto Cedar Creek Road East. Now again it says no through road, but it actually does go through. Getting a little bit rattled about for no other reason other than it's a short drive and we haven't bothered lowering our tyre pressure. It's an easy drive, so we really don't need to. It just makes it a little bit bumpy. This road winds up from the western side of the Mapleton National Park and joins onto the National Park Road. And we're going to follow that back and through another little track which will then take us down to Baronga Road, which will lead down to one of these waterfalls. We're now on a section of the Mapleton Forest Drive, and it's a section called Change Gear Hill. And I dare say it would have been for the old timber getters who came up here and actually got a lot of wood out of this area. Every so often you find an old tree stump that's been notched where they've climbed up a little bit to cut it off above the pith line there. And yeah, they've actually hauled logs through this area. This is one of the original forestry roads, but it's now National Park. So National Parks, of course, have closed off an awful lot of the roads around the place and just left a few open. We've been out hunting for tracks that they haven't yet closed off, and they're very few and far between, I can tell you. And they do it for safety reasons, so they say. Because a lot of guys get out in four-wheel drives and tear up the tracks. We got to do it in two-wheel drive and all this sort of thing instead of using four-wheel drive, and they dig up the tracks and cause all sorts of problems. And then the forestry workers and national park rangers and that sort of thing, they have to come along in their cars and try and navigate these same tracks in cars that aren't fitted out with great big ginormous tyres and all that sort of thing, so it makes it dangerous for them. So that's the reason they give for closing off a lot of the tracks, is for the safety of the forest rangers and timber workers. But you've got to wonder, you know, what happens when there's a fire? Because a lot of the four-wheel drive clubs that go out aren't there to belt up the tracks. We're just out there to observe the environment and have a look around in places you can't get to with normal cars. So I suppose there's 2 sides to the argument anyway. So one is safety of the rangers and the work people that have got to come out here. They've got to think of workplace health and safety. And if four-wheel drivers have been out spinning wheels and digging up tracks and making mud holes boggier and all that sort of thing, it makes it more difficult for the forestry workers. So yeah, are going out four-wheel driving, try not to spin the wheels too much. I know in competitions, in winch comps and that sort of thing, as soon as you spin the wheels, bang, you're stopping and you're winching. So yeah, keep that in mind, guys. You can certainly see why they call it change gear hill. And yeah, it's up and down and all over the place, and if you're driving a logging truck you would be changing gears quite a bit. So there's one little side track just at the top end of change gear hill that is open, so we're going to take that one.
But anyway, there's no gate on that, so
No, we can go.
I was half expecting there to be a gate across there.
One day. It's only a fairly short track. It does have a couple of little muddy patches in there, but they're nothing to worry about. Use four-wheel drive if you can. We should be able to. Yeah, just so you're not digging up the track too much, because the last thing we need is yet another gate. Through that little track onto Baronga Road, then onto English Road, and now we're just winding our way back down towards Yandina. So at the bottom end of English Road there's a little place to park a car. We walk down this little trail. We're going to see what's down the bottom here. Not much of a trail, but a trail it is. So Dave was born and raised in the area. He knows about every square inch of this place, I'm sure. Certainly knows all the trails. Stopover. Dave just pulled out another car, rocketed it into his place. Back on the bitumen, and we're on Commodore Road heading back towards Yandina. So we're going down to Devil's Waterfalls, and apparently there's a bit of a tunnel through there which you can get caught in, so we're not going through that, that's for sure. The water comes rocketing down through there into a big water hole there, and underneath that little bit of rock there bubbles back up again and down there. So if you don't make it through that hole, you're stuck. Yeah, so that's the Devil's Waterfalls. And another one I've never seen. Lived in Yandina for 13 years or so and haven't seen those. I've been near them but never walked up that way to see that hole. We're coming in to Yandina shortly along Whopper Dam Road.
Used to be some great four-wheel driving just up on your right, and but it got all shut down because it backs onto the Emish Flat Road quarry, and the council was concerned that people would get access from the back. So they barricaded all that.
We're coming in the back way to Yandina via Coleman's Road. There's another little crossing we do here. It's not a water crossing as such. We go over a road. A pretty little spot nonetheless.
There's a 13 popped up in this little state.
Just like that, we're back in suburbia. Yandina suburbia anyway. Yeah, so that was a bit of a fun drive. Yeah, we found waterholes that I've never seen before, so thanks Dave, thanks for taking us out.
No problem. A lot of people don't realise what's in their backyard.
No, and yeah, that was really great to see. So thanks for watching, and if you've liked it, just give us a like and subscribe down the bottom there somewhere, and we'll see you in the next episode.
No worries. Thanks, Carl.
Okay, cheers.
Puppy, Nanny Rose is going to go and drive through Nolan's. I'm a